Welcome to episode 35 of the Yespixel podcast with my guest hosts, Hogshund and Voladin. My
Hello.
character is better than
Yo.
both of theirs.
Okay.
Um,
We're
moving
starting
All
this
right,
on,
all
already.
right.
It's been like 5 seconds. You already doing this?
I had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say
yeah.
it. I had to be
Okay.
said. It's known, so
Okay.
I
There's
might as well
RP
put it out there.
elitism over here. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
big
you.
shot over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Streamer of the year, by the way.
Mm.
Anyway, today we're not joined by Hydra, please. He's going through a lot. Um, Someone close to him has recently passed, and he's dealing with it. So we won't be seeing him today, and it's just your boy 52 with these two guest hosts we uh, that asked to be on, and we said yes because we're
Did I
nice.
ask? Did I ask?
I
Or we?
asked?
Yeah.
You know what? That's what
When
we're
did I ask,
saying.
bro? I
That,
was
that's,
sleeping.
that's, that's what we're
I was
saying for the
asleep, bro.
podcast. Anyway, how have you guys been? How's it been on the server the last couple of days? Since the last time you've been on the podcast, which was was it last week? Did we
I
have
think it
you
was
on
last
last?
week, bro.
Yeah, we had. It's been a week. How have you? What's changed? Anything changed? Any developments?
It's just been stressful. Really, really stressful. The whole campaign thing. I think this is it, bro. I'm so stressed out by this shit. It's not
How
even my
many?
real job.
How many campaigns has it been? What's this? This is number what? Three? Is this that
Who?
time? Number
Is this
two?
only two?
Yeah, because remember Mickey was like mayor for like half a year.
Yeah, for some reason I thought
Oh
Osvaldo ran before that.
no!
No, I
No.
ran right when Mickey got reelected. Osvaldo was like, I could be a mayor.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then he was mayor for like ages. And then I
Mhm.
finally got to like do it the first time against Buddha, lost. And now it's this time. So I think it's been like I think this month hits 11 months that I've been campaigning.
It was Andy
Yeah.
Jones, then Denzel, then Mickey, right? Or am I
No,
missing
there
No,
was
someone?
there's a
Abdul,
few in between. Yeah, Abdul,
Bunny,
Bunny,
Oh yeah. Wait, Bunny was mayor?
yeah, and
apparently,
then
yeah.
Emma Gain as well.
Yeah, I remember when Mickey got reelected. You want to know how it happened?
Mm.
I don't even think there was an election process. Like there were no votes to be counted. He was in court and Crane said, "Okay, you're being issued your second term." That was
Yeah,
it.
because I
Uh,
don't think anybody wanted to go against him.
No, that's not true. There were people. There was Pablo, there was Party Hardy. There was a few people campaigning and shit, and there was even campaign speeches. And maybe I missed
but
something, but it seemed like they just got
was
sidetracked,
okay,
pushed
was
to the
that an
side.
actual or was it just in lieu of the election? Because remember the elections were delayed because of like the tampering. I think that was the in character reason. I think right. Was
Yeah,
I
I
Yeah.
just
think
hearing
so.
that? I can't remember.
That's why it
Yes.
got delayed.
Yes and no. I mean, I feel like it was being held by people, right? It was being held the mayoral debates were being held and shit. I feel like the only thing that needed to happen next was a ballot, so the voting booths to be open, and it didn't happen. And he got reelected,
Oh,
and
the second, or
the
yeah, yeah.
second time, yeah, the second time.
Yeah.
That's what happened, and I think you were like initially starting to try and run for mayor.
Yo, but I mean, people. I walk around the city and people just call me Mr. Mayor. Like
I mean,
I'm not mayor, and they still recognize me as mayor, which is hilarious.
I
Like, yeah,
love the
no, Buddha,
fucking
who?
the
Yeah.
custom pet you got. I fucking love it, man. It's
Oh, dude, yeah.
perfect. It's
You
Yeah.
know,
perfect for what's to come if you do get mayor.
you know
Which
who
we all know
made
what you're
that?
gonna do.
Uh,
Who?
you know the dude that plays the clown Giblets, Travis
Giblets?
Rashgard. Yeah, he's the one that
Yeah.
made it.
Oh,
He
really?
made it?
Yeah, he made all those clothes. I didn't even. We had ideas for like Mickey stuff too. Like the suit, the Cuban suit was gonna have like a little Mickey pin, and then I was gonna have another shirt that said Masketeer for life, and I was gonna have like a little like hat that had like the mouse ears and everything. And then Nopixel was like, "Nah, cut that shit all off. You can't have
Oh,
any of that."
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the aren't
Dude,
there
that shit
still
would have been
cars
sick.
though? There's still cars that are branded like the G Wagon, I think, right?
I think it's just because fucking Disney will probably find it one day and they'll be like, Take this shit down or we're fucking you up."
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Disney's insane. So
Disney do be like that. Wait, can't you just
yeah,
say, "Hey, I work for you guys. I literally run shit for you guys. Come
I'll
on, give
probably
me a
get
tag."
fired. You know how many times I curse? They
Oh
don't. I
shit!
am not a good representation of an employee for them.
Oh my god, you're right. You're right. They find out. That's it.
That's why on stream I kind of just don't even mention it anymore. I'm like, yeah, Disney, I love that place.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for sure.
Hogshund, out of curiosity, have you played a character other than Osvaldo?
No,
Just Osvaldo?
no,
Would you ever
I'm
consider? Would you ever consider playing a character other than Osvaldo for a little bit?
yeah, I get ideas. It's just I get really I start hating any idea I have. But
Yeah, I feel that,
I
man.
want to make a cop character. I really do. It's just I feel like all cop characters have been done. If that makes
Um,
sense.
yes and no. That's if your interpretation of a cop character is like finite. Like there's so don't think about it as a cop first. Think about it as a character, and then put the
Mhm.
badge on him, and then think of how the dynamic would work. Because if you think about, I'm gonna list a few characters that you'd never think would be cops. Peach, you'd never think she'd be a cop.
Yeah.
Brick,
Yeah, that's true.
you never think he'd be a cop. Fingal, god
Yeah.
damn, that motherfucker,
Fingal
that
got thrown
got
into
gout.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Carmine.
He
You
got
these are
know.
thrown into
characters.
that shit.
Yeah, these are the characters you'd never think would, play cop, like be a cop in a real world, but they are, and because of how different they are and how unlikely it is, I feel like those type of characters,
We're good.
uh, resonate the best when it
I
comes
know
to being noticed and shit.
I know Kyle Pred was like pushing for Osvaldo to be a cop. He really wanted Osvaldo to be a cop before
Yeah,
this whole like PD change thing or whatever.
Mhm.
what happened? Was this before or after the Cerberus PD?
This was during. Like before and during Cerberus PD. He kept telling me, "Stop trying to be mayor, just become a cop. Be my partner, become a cop. Join me." And Osvaldo be like, "Nah, let me just run as mayor, and then after I'm mayor, well, I'll just join you." And he's like, "Okay, sure, you can do that." And then now all this shit happened, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make you a cop." And Osvaldo's like, "Yeah, I figured."
I'll be honest. There's one thing when you become a cop on the server, especially whitelist, your character, you're gonna have to neuter them. Like you have to get rid of certain traits or put them on low volume. Like
Yeah,
like I got rid of so many traits for Carmine just so he can barely survive. And I know a lot of people have done that. That's the only downside to playing a cop. Another downside to playing actually it's not this more. Another downside to playing a cop is roleplay wise you don't have as much roleplay freedom because of the role you play on the server. You're like a soft admin, right? And as a soft admin, there's certain things that you can do that other people can't do, and if you do it, even if it's in the spirit of role play, and the wrong person interpret it interprets it the wrong way, it get you fired. Like in a DM, like a Discord, like hey, you're fired.
Mhm.
It's happened to people. I
yeah.
mean, and it sucks. But have you guys wait, Voladin, what about
Yeah.
you? You got any ideas of playing a character other than Schwinghammer? You said you had one
I,
earlier.
well, I actually have multiple other characters. I just don't get to play them a whole lot. So I have uh I have a character whose name calls himself Wolfbiter. He's got a longer name. He's basically he's
I remember
basically
that
like
one.
what Booba was back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But instead of caveman, he's like woods boy, but same general idea to how I was going to play him. I have a character called Ron DeClock. He is part of a construction crew. Some of my old circle in the DOJ kind of made some construction characters. We haven't got around to doing that a whole lot. And then I have another character. I have a Littleman that I've played once. And then I also have this other character. This is the one I was talking to you about before, who I was actually thinking about. I, I initially want him to be a prosecutor, but it's honestly very difficult for me to get him into the server to RP out getting his bar. So I've debated having him apply for cop, to tell you the truth. And in fact, I think he would be a great fit with a lot of the RP that happens there. He's basically He's very nerdy. He's very much a always caught a larger fish than somebody else, right? So, no matter, you did a bust with, 20,000 pounds of weed. Well, I did one with 30,000 pounds of weed and cocaine, right? Well, it's your first day on the job. Well, I mean, yeah, but, it happened before, right? He's that kind of
One up.
character.
I like
Mhm.
characters like that. Characters that
Yeah.
One-up
are like
characters.
subtly antagonistic. That's a good character.
Yeah, and then he'd also be like, and I know this has happened with some of the other characters before, but he's also very much like a looking up to the cops. Like he calls them the heroes of Los Santos, and he would emulate, some of their foibles at least a little bit for a little while. I know that that's kind of been done before or whatever, right? But no, he's just generally very fun. He's everything. He's the opposite of Titus in almost every way. So I have a lot of fun playing him. Every time I'm playing him, I have this big smile on my face, everything like that, right? So I actually have flirted with having him apply for cop because it's been very frustrating trying to get him into the DOJ. My hesitation always comes because uh, more often than not, when I'm in the server for the RP, normally what I want to seek out is the talking, right? So whether it be in the courthouse or whether it be somewhere else, just conversational RP is more often than not what I seek out. I always been like, I don't know, do I really want to drive and shoot? Because sometimes I feel like that's what's going to be required to be a cop, and I don't know if I really always want to do that, but I don't know. Maybe I should take the plunge one day. I'm not really sure.
Do it.
Uh,
Uh,
I think he'd be fantastic with a lot of like more than anything else. What happened for me is because I don't really watch a lot, but sometimes like at the beginning of my days before I would jump on the server, I would kind of watch some of the cops, the Snows, the Preds, the lately I've been watching a bit of Miles even on Stubble there, and I don't know. I see a lot of the RP that happens there, and I was like kind of like this looks some good RP. I wouldn't mind joining them in on it, and I get along really well with a lot of the people who do a lot of the cops, right? So,
mhm.
that was always kind of my goal with that character was to get him like RPing with the cops, and that's kind of why I wanted prosecutor. So maybe I should just apply for cop on him anyway. But obviously, then this whole reshuffle happened, and I'm gonna wait that out before I even really think about it, honestly. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The whole shooting. First of all, I heard you say that you played a Littleman. I'm
Mhm.
disgusted. I can't
You
believe we
pulled
have
him
you on
over.
here.
You pulled him over.
I did. I can't believe I didn't shoot him. I should have shot him. My bad.
You-
I made a mistake. Let one
That's
of
what
them
the
slip
hate
through
with the
my
Littlemans,
fingers.
bro.
yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
you don't play a cop. Play a cop and go to a Littleman's call. Why you playing Carmine? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna shoot you because it's
Well,
funny.
maybe
Those
because it's
motherfuckers.
Carmine.
Yeah, and you know what? My
Carmine's
fucking
a little
hatred for them is
shit, bro.
warranted.
Yeah.
I don't think I've survived. One time they fucking flew a Cessna into me on Maze Bank Tower and I died. Okay? So,
Dude, during the
anyway,
James games, we were
I
at
miss
Maze
that
Bank Tower.
shit.
Dude, it was insane. At the James games, we went to Maze Bank Tower, and up on the roof, it was everybody had to throw each other off the Maze Bank
Okay.
Tower. But it was taking too long, so James calls the Littlemans and says, "Go to the airport and get three planes." So they grab 3 planes and they just start ramming people and they start flying off of Maze Bank Tower. Dude, it was terrifying. It was insane.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying, Voladin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Playing a cop, it's like you get an assortment of roleplay that you can do, or assortment of things on the server you can do,
Mhm.
and things that are required of you. If you do the bare minimum, the things that are required of you, and then you just focus on the things you want to do, you'll be good.
Yeah.
I would be lying to you if I said you didn't have to respond to shootouts or you didn't have to chase cars, because that's like a
Right.
recipe for it, right? But every cop operates differently. You'll see some cops that they what they get the most enjoyment out of is the physical aspects of shit, like driving, shooting, and being on scenes and shit. And then you have cops that do nothing but, well, not nothing, but mostly you'll never see them on patrols with you. And if you do, it's like once in a blue moon. Like your Percy Weavers. You don't see
Mhm.
Percy Weaver usually, outside of.
There's a cop named Percy Weaver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
is that come from somewhere? Is that what is?
No, no, no. I just didn't. I didn't know there was a cop named Percy Weaver.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
cop named Percy Weaver. There's I mean, I haven't done much police work with Hardcastle, but a lot of the SU guys, they do a lot of paperwork and shit, back end shit,
Yeah, yeah.
and everyone has like their vibe, right? And then there's people that intersect in the middle, like Brian Knight, who does a little bit of both,
Right.
and it all comes down to you and your approach, right?
Yeah. I guess another hesitation for me as well, sorry to keep going as well. Another hesitation for me is I don't want to become another judge that became a cop main. You know,
Is that a
uh,
stigma? Is that something?
Is
Is
it?
that something
I didn't
that's
know that
happens
happened.
regularly? I didn't know that.
I mean, so I don't know about I mean outside the DOJ, but I think that anyone inside the DOJ who spent any time here just goes, "Oh, look at that! Another cop became, or another judge becomes a cop main." It's a pretty typical because. I think with the DOJ sometimes one of the criticisms for people who are in there and streaming that or what have you is that it can get boring. Like you do have a certain amount of latitudes that you are given in terms of what you can do and that sort of thing, absolutely.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, when you're getting your 120-second requested change of license plate, some people are just like, poke my eyes out, this is killing me, like I don't want to do this anymore. And then I think, and I haven't played co-op, but and then you see them hop on a co-op, and you know how it can sort of be the RP, like you say, you have some responsibilities, but it also sort of feels like, and this is a comment I've heard along the way before, is like the RP's on the rails, right? Like you always have something to go to. There's always something happening, even if like kind of like you're saying, it's not what you really want to do. There is something happening. There's a shootout happening. There's an investigation going on. There's something you can respond to. And I think you've seen it. I think like you look at Snowball, for example, right? Like I know he doesn't spend all his time on Carter, but he went as a cop and or judge and became Evie on went as started and then went over there. You even see with Israel right now, he's on Saren sometimes, but mostly he's on his cop now. I don't know. To me, and so honestly, I haven't been in the server a whole lot right now. I'm kind of trying to get life figured out a little bit more right now, a little bit, and so the timing hasn't been there for me to be around on Titus quite as much as I'd like to right now. And to tell you the honest truth, I'm depending on how it goes, I might even be starting to think about I'm not yet. I gotta wait to figure out how things go and where my life's at. But if I don't have the time to properly put in that I think is required to be a judge, I will probably resign because I just don't think that's fair to the server if we have someone filling up a seat there who's not putting in the time and effort, right?
I
So
mean, can I be honest?
go for
I
it. Yeah.
mean, right now, unless it's like a huge case, the only two people I really see presiding over cases are you and Mace. How many
Yeah.
judge seats are there?
So there's 12 in total.
There's
Okay.
12 judges.
Yeah, there's 12. So it's plus Crane.
Okay.
And so it's supposed to be right now that the idea is that every time there's an election, there's like a third of them are up for re-election, right? So I think this round it's Siobhan, Grayson, and Montag are rerunning, and then we actually have a lot of. I would actually just check here when you were talking about the mayoral elections. I actually kind of like the variety of people that we have applying for judge this time around. I think that we have a past judge. We have Norman Adams who applied. We have Slate and Gatsby who are long-term lawyers who are putting in, and then we have Percy Weaver. We have Jerry Callow of all people who's apparently putting in his application.
Percy Weaver? Who's Jerry Callow? Who's that?
That is Mantis's lawyer from 2.0, basically.
Okay.
Oh, cool,
Uh,
cool.
yeah. Willie Glory, Winona Fontaine, and then Rosa Garcia also put in hers as
What?
well. Yeah.
Fontaine. Rosa
Yeah.
Garcia would be. Wait, didn't she just go to prison
I
for
don't
beating the shit
know.
out of
Yeah,
Wrangler?
Those last three are crazy. Fontaine, Willie, and
Fontaine,
Rosa. I
yeah.
was not
yeah,
expecting those three.
I think I'd
yeah.
like Rosa as a judge.
Oh yeah, no, I think she'd do well. I honestly, I think everyone who put their name forward, honestly, would probably do quite well in
Yeah,
different
yeah.
ways. Like honestly, I really love RPing with Crayon. I think she's great, and her as a judge would be fantastic as well. Add some more spice to that, right? In her own way, right?
Mhm.
Um, uh, so yeah, but like I say, I think that I think that there's if I could change like one thing, I think about like being a judge. I think that there should be like honestly like a time requirement for being around the city. You know, like maybe not like a hard like hey you have to be like 3 hours a day or something like that, but like within a couple weeks or within like a month or something like you got to be around and show up and help contribute moving because there is the like you say doing court cases right, and I do appreciate you saying that you see me doing it, and I do try to do what I can right now. Like I said, right now I'm just trying to get my life reorganized. I'm trying to find a new job. I'm trying to move my house, so right now I just don't have the time to devote to RP as much as I'd like to. But at the same time, like Maze is definitely doing a lot. I mean, I would never speak ill of like Crane. I know Crane's getting a lot done. I know Siobhan has a history of getting a lot of shit done. Grayson is kind of in a similar boat to me right now. I think he's got his life a little bit more figured out, but I think he's also one of those people who like I think he'd love to not run, but I think he views the state of the DOJ right now that he has to rerun, right? Which is kind of too bad. I don't know. That's just the way I look at things. So I could be totally wrong about any of this stuff, but I think that some new perspectives and some new and I think that we have. The only thing I worry about with Callow is cop mains being judges. But we'll see. I mean, if Toretti can or if Mattis can pull it off, I think Callow would be great. But everyone else in here, everyone in here is a great RPer, and I think they'll do great. So,
out of curiosity, do you need like a solid fundamental understanding of the judicial procedure to play a judge, or can you just can I like
Just make a.
can I
make
say
a
yeah? Can I
judge.
just like
I
guy
mean,
robbed the lady of her purse? Okay, guilty, verdict, death, and just shoot him. Can I do that?
well, you couldn't just shoot him, right? I mean, I think.
Wait. Judge Jingle did that to me.
Okay,
Judge
well,
Jingle shot Carmine.
that was Jingle. Okay, I don't want to.
Oh
With
my
the
god, put a
exception of
dam behind it and they can get away with murder. That God, I hate the dams just as much as I hate the Littlemans, man.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would say that you certainly need to have at least a working knowledge of the criminal system and how it's applied in the city. But I don't think you need to be like a lawyer with a shitload of experience. I mean, again, we went through here like Fontaine, Willie Glory. Like I think these are people who would do great at the RP, even if they don't. Percy Weaver again, though Percy probably because he does more of the investigation stuff. He probably has a little bit more of the legal background
Yeah.
than maybe the other two, but. I still think those two would do just fine. I think they do great, actually. Like I said, like Fontaine's one of my favorite characters. I say this about like fucking every character, I swear. But Fontaine's one of my favorite characters to run into just casually in the city. It's a nice surprise. Oh shit, there's Fontaine. Cool. Here's some good interaction. Whatever. Right? I mean, honestly, Carmine and Osvaldo are in that group as well, just so you guys know. But
I'm above as well, right? I'm better,
Nah,
right?
nah, ain't
Right.
no way. Ain't no way.
It's a toss up.
Listen,
It's a
if
toss
Carmine
up.
had an army of guys with berets on, okay, I feel like I'd be up there.
No, you
Up there.
wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No,
You know
you
what?
wouldn't. You're just
I'm gonna
jealous.
perma-Leo. I'm killing everybody who has a beret. Every Cuban dies just to make you feel like
Just
how I
one
feel
other
all
Cuban.
alone.
I mean, both characters have their pros and cons to running into them. I'll say that.
Cons. There's not a single con running into Osvaldo.
The first time I met Hogshund in roleplay, he
I
he
ran at you with
threatened
the
me with a
fucking.
hammer, and I had to. He's the first person I shot as a cop. It
You're
was
welcome, by the way. You're fucking welcome.
yeah. He did that to me as a cadet. I ran into a fucking Cuban as a cadet before before the Cubans were like you know how Cubans you can like
Official.
like how you could fuck around with the Cubans, right? Back then I thought this guy is a Cuban militia member for the cigar, probably got Kalishnikov stashed away in his fucking apartment up in Sandy.
No,
If
we're
I
just a
do
bunch
it,
of idiots.
and then I thought as soon as I shot him, I was like, oh shit, I guess I'm gonna be killed in the next 2 days when his people find out.
Nothing.
Yeah, it was fun, man. That was like there's not a lot of arrests I remember, and that's definitely one of them. From beginning to end, it was fucking amazing. I
Nice.
enjoyed that.
We used to do
Um,
some dumb shit, bro.
yeah. I wanna go back to the whole new character trying out different shit.
Mhm.
You guys may not know this, but right now there's a really good Not perfect, but a really good means of experimenting with new recipes and new ideas you're too afraid to try out in 3.0. And that probably, in all honesty, wouldn't hit us hard in 3.0 just because of how established and settled everything is. Classic, okay? If you have a wacky idea character that you want to kind of main, not a one lifer, like a
Yeah, yeah.
character that you want to like main other than your main character, like a secondary character, so you can switch out and shit to disattach from your main. Classic is the way to go.
How's it
Okay,
been?
I mean, so far I haven't run into any other than what I think might be metagaming, and I'm not too bothered about that shit. I don't really
Mhm.
give a shit. Other than meta, I find it funny pretty much. Well, Vader is playing on Classic too, right? So Vader finds something. I find out that Vader found something. 5 to 10 minutes later, I see 20 people there.
Oh yeah, got you.
I see
Mhm,
20 people there.
mhm.
And when you ask them what they're doing there, they say, "Hey, I'm looking for fishing rods," or "I'm looking
Oh
for
yeah, of
something else.
course.
I'm
I
definitely
know.
not trying to make weed over here." I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe
Oh
maybe there
god,
are. Maybe I'm just assuming the worst. But it's funny. It's funny when.
no.
Other
You have
than
a
that,
cop in
Well,
2.0 too?
no, hell no. You
nice.
crazy? I'm not
I don't
playing.
know, bro.
I'm not. I don't know
Uh,
why some people do that. They play cop on main, and then they have the opportunity to do something different on
mhm.
classic, but they do the same thing. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people got the wrong idea. They think classic is something that it's gonna have definite longevity, and you gotta get established so you can retain your OOC community, and the content comes easy, and
Mm.
you fall into the ebbs and flows of what people do in 3.0. Because 3.0, that's 3.0, right? People build their brands, their OOC
Yep.
brands on 3.0. 2.0 is just roleplay. Go over there just
Mhm.
to roleplay, just to fuck around with people, have fun. Who cares about the getting established? Because that server's, according to Coil, that server's not going to be around for long, and
Yeah.
it's probably going to be dropped as soon as hardcore or 4.0 drop.
I've heard
And
4.0 is a long ways off though.
yeah, but hardcore's maybe around the corner. I
Is
mean,
it?
I'm
Okay.
probably
I don't
I'm
know.
probably gonna play a cop for hardcore because I feel like
He
hardcore is gonna be like
didn't he
3.0
say
plus
like
one.
recently that he doesn't even know if he wants to drop hardcore anymore?
I'm not. I don't know. I
I don't
don't.
remember. I feel
Maybe.
like I saw a clip. I could be like entirely wrong, but I felt like he said he either wasn't sure if he wanted to drop it because of the way people were acting in 2.0, like classic.
What is he saying? He really likes how 2.0 is going,
Not in the beginning, bro. He was furious in the beginning.
but now
Mm.
he's like he's seeing what's happening and
I
he
think he's
likes it.
chilled out. Yeah.
You don't know why he likes it? Because people are having fun. I mean, I'll be honest, 2.0 is very crim orientated. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and majority of the people are crims. Majority of the people coming from public are crims, and it's the same archetype. They wear masks, goggles. I'm a shooter. I know this. I know that. Can I join your
Where's Moon Moon?
gang? No, no, no,
So
no. That crowd does that crowd isn't. No, it's not that crowd that classic appeals to. It
It was a
appeals to
joke. It
people
was a
who
joke.
did Moo Moo play on Classic?
No, the meme is there's a clip. The meme is someone ran up. I think it was to Coil. Someone ran up to Coil and was like, "Where's Moon Moon?" Like straight up, like at 2.0, just straight up ran up
You know
to him and
what's
was like,
funny?
"Where's Moon
I,
Moon?"
I think he had I was scrolling through Twitch the one day. I think I saw in his little on his title that he was I think he was trolling people. I'm not really sure, but he had like a queue, like the no pixel
Oh
queue
yeah,
up in the
yeah.
corner. Yeah, I think he was just trolling the fuck out of people in typical Moon fashion, right? But I think that was maybe played into it as well. But
Wait,
I was gonna ask, like,
uh-huh.
wouldn't though? Okay, so this is just me as like someone who would who like I would sit here and say I think on our main server we should have wipes every year just to economy wipes. I know the relationship wipes people are going to be mixed on or whatever, but I think everyone
Right.
could probably get behind economy
Classic,
wipes,
everybody.
right?
Classic. Listen,
Yeah, everyone
relationship
goes and
wipes are
start
not
hanging out with
happening.
everybody else, right? Exactly, right.
It's
No,
not
But
everybody
happening.
wants to chill with their boys.
exactly. But
Yeah.
if you just did like a wipe of 3.0 and just start everyone back from zero, do you think it would be the same environment that's in 2.0 right now? Or do you think it would still be changed
No.
because it's
No.
why
I
No.
not?
think I think I think it would kill the server, in
You
my
think so?
opinion. I think so. Because then
Why?
you're gonna get people pissed that all like let's say like people that have worked so hard to get a bunch of money and to establish where they're at, and then you're just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. At the end of the year, we're taking it away. They're gonna be so fucking mad. Why would you bother doing anything except shooting cops or gang shit?
Can I be like a devil's
Current
advocate?
currency would die.
See,
Um, I
you
feel
go
like
for it.
we're looking for at this at the wrong perspective. If you
Mhm.
think about NoPixel as a server, the reason NoPixel is what it is, and this goes for me, but most people play on NoPixel is because of the reach it has. Right, it's got
Mhm.
a huge audience. There's a lot of people who enjoy the server. Like 90% of the people that know about NoPixel don't even play on NoPixel, right? And a server wipe, as cruel as it might be, if someone's willing to leave because they lost their pixel money to a wipe that's healthy for the server status quo, I'm sure there's probably gonna be some other people that are willing to fill those spots, right? And if you're getting attached to progression, I get a wipe happening every 3 months, and you're like, oh my god, here we go again.
Mhm.
But to be wholly against a wipe happening, like maybe like a wipe happening every 9 months, that's healthy. That should be fine. I feel like that should be okay. And just keeping the ball going, it leads into what 3.0 is now, and it's stale, right? Everybody
Yeah.
has a lot of money. Nobody's so money is a huge role play driver, right? And everybody has all the money they need. Nobody's
Mhm.
gonna go out of their way to role play for money because they have their money. And that
Mhm.
that that approach of engaging people in role play is gone now, right? And everybody's in their gangs. They have their compounds. They have everything they need, and it's rinse and repeat cycle of doing the same crime over and over again because I don't know what else to do.
Mhm.
And a wipe. Look, classic right now. There are no bank robberies. There are no store robberies. All the role play. I mean, there's grinding. There's a lot of grinding, but even the grinding has
That's
role play
everywhere.
aspects to it.
Mhm.
It has role play aspects to it because I'm playing on it right now and I'm having a lot of fun. I don't know if it's gonna last long, but yeah, wipes are healthy. Wipes are good, but like small wipes are good, so long as they're like paired up with big wipes, but like server changing wipes
Yeah.
and like mini epochs and then huge epoch. Like I don't know how World of Warcraft works, but is that how World of Warcraft works? Where there's like small DLCs and then huge drops?
No idea. I never played World of
Yeah,
Warcraft.
yeah, I don't know. I don't play it either, but I have a feeling it's more of the typical. My understanding, and this is more from like I guess I kind of played like Destiny a bit, which isn't an MMO per se, but when they release an expansion, all it is just there's just power creep and item creep, and now you just have to go farm for everything again, and you don't really like get wiped so much as the best stuff you still have to go and get again, right? Whereas as opposed to like say in another sort of genre would be like the ARPGs, your Paths of Exile, your Diablos, where it's seasonal, right? Or your shooter games, right? Where it's seasonal, where everyone gets put back at like level 1 and you got to build your way back up again, right? I think it'd be more that stuff. What the other thing I was gonna say as well, and I actually agree with. Well, I mean, I suggested it, so I totally agree with you on this one, Chains. The other thing I think that's good about wipes is, and I think we saw this with 3.0, is you get a lot of people coming in to experience the fresh server that wouldn't join in when it's like people who are well established. I think you see an influx of new content creators. Some of them are giant big Twitch streamers. Look at the amount of big streamers we brought in at the beginning of 3.0. Did they all stick around? No, but it was still great for the server. It still got us a lot of exposure. It still got us a lot of advertisement, all that sort of stuff. And we had people stick around in some ways, and we had viewers stick around in some other ways. We still have XQC that pops in every once in a while, right? And that's huge for exposure for the server. So I think that to me, and it's not even necessarily the big names. Like you're just getting new people in who are just like, okay, maybe I don't want to join Nopixel when it's 3 years in and everyone has supercars and their established gangs and all that stuff. And do those gangs sort of reform generally at a wipe? Sure, they do. People are comfortable. They want to hang out with the people they want to hang out with, and they probably shouldn't really be penalized for it. But at the same time, it gives new people an opportunity to find groups to get in on the ground floor, to establish characters at the same time as everybody else. And I think that for some people that'll be appealing. Not everyone, right? But I think for some people, and I think that's another reason that wipes are healthy for the server personally.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know how I feel about it. I still think it would end up making money useless. Because what would be the point of getting money if it's just gonna go away in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months? What's the point? I mean, my character as it is, I don't really care about money as it is. I feel like it's more like
I,
I just feel like people will focus more on trying really hard to get the money right off the bat in the first like 3 or 4 months. So that's already 3 or 4 months down the drain. Or nobody will give a shit about money. The economy will crash in the city, and like I said, I think it'll just be like just gangs just beating the shit out of each other, and that's it.
what I really liked it, or at least this was my view from from the beginning of 3.0, was that it
Hmm.
felt like with money being like everyone not having money, it felt like to me it was driving the RP better in terms of like, okay, I just don't have all the money I can do. I don't care. It made more of the okay, what can I do for interesting RP to make a little bit of money, right? You
What?
saw all sorts of like trying startups for businesses. You saw people scamming people in interesting ways. You saw people you saw people who are more predominantly the crim characters even doing some of the more civilian jobs and then bringing their interesting role play into those civilian roles, right? You saw like I'm thinking about like at Burger Shot where you have like Slim and Eugene and all those various colorful characters playing in Burger Shot right now. I mean, were there other big streamers there that other people were trying to get? Sure, but at attention from, sure, but at the same time, like I don't know. I feel that when you take everything away from people and they can't just rely on, oh, I just have all this money sitting around. I just think it creates more interesting situations. And I would also echo kind of what 52 was saying. Like, if it's a matter of like, and like you say, your character doesn't really need money. Like, I think the most of the really interesting characters don't really need money to be interesting, right? Like, I don't think that any and if the whole thing is like, well, I'm just gonna go away and grind forever and become the first millionaire and buy the first fancy car, like, is that really helpful to the server? I don't know.
Yeah, I get where you're going. I get what you're trying to say, Hogshund. That people work towards progression, right? And if their progression is cut short every time, they're gonna get tilted. I understand that.
Mhm.
So maybe like a middle ground would be to extend the period, like not make it 3 months. I feel like 6, 7, 8, 9, around that area should be long enough. Longer than
Maybe.
that, and then you're making your car and your house your character's identity. And then, do you have much of a character if you need that car for your character to be a character? I don't know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no, I get you on that stuff. Uh I don't know, dude. I feel like there's ways that you could like I don't know. I feel like penalizing them in game more now and trying to find a way to like take money away from them in the server now versus like wipes, I think would benefit more, if that makes sense. It's just figuring out and getting it all approved would be
Like money sinks.
literally like money sinks? Yeah, either like money sinks, like purposely like shitty businesses that'll fuck somebody up, or like taxes. Why is there no like actual physical like taxes at the end of the year in the server? Where
Uh,
like big money bit like big corporations or like all people that owe like have a lot of money have to pay like the city back.
so that
Like
was a thing, and I think it was nobody wanted to engage in that RP, so it just kind of fell along the wayside. And I, like literally, I think that's what like we had people, we had the DIC, the dick, we had the dickhead, we had a whole series of There's two different tax codes in the legislations, right? I think it
mm,
was just. I think honestly, I think in the end, just nobody wanted to engage in the tax RP. I think. I mean, I'm not. We have it there.
it
It's
should be
there.
used. It should be used. I feel like that would be it'd be tedious and probably like annoy people, but I feel like that's a way to like benefit the city in general, in
Mhm.
my opinion. Instead of just like raising up fucking what is it? They raise the asset fees to like almost like It's impossible to have a car in your
Asset fees got ridiculous. Yeah.
dude. Asset fees are insane. Eugene gave Osvaldo like an S plus car, and he's like, yeah, you can have it for free. And Osvaldo's like, oh my god, cool.
Yeah.
Then like asset fees came up, it was like 38 grand. He's like, oh no, this ain't it. Like I'm not doing this. This is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Do you
Fuck
still
Probably
have
why
that
that.
he
car?
gave it to you in the
No,
first
I sold
place.
that shit immediately. I sold it. I sold it for 500K. I think it's like a $1 million car. I sold it for 500K, and then Eugene's like, "Where's my half?" And he's like, "Nah, I sold this shit on my own. It's mine now."
If you held on to that, you would have been able to get a new car because of the whole branding thing worth $1 million. So
No,
who really won?
it wasn't one of those. This happened like 2 weeks ago. This was one
Oh,
of
Mm,
this was a Trigon or whatever, a Tygon. It was like a shitty S plus too.
like an
Apparently
actual
nobody likes that
GTA
car.
game car or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently nobody really likes that car. So Osvaldo was like, "Bro, just give it to Mary Mushkin. Give me my fucking 500K, and let's get the fuck out of here."
Right.
one thing I want to bring back up is another thing I missed with the whole classic server. One thing that I feel like Hogshund you would like a fucking lot, man, is there's a lot of new faces and a lot of new people, a lot of interesting people that are getting their first opportunity to, be to roleplay with role players like you
Hmm.
and there's a lot of them, man. There's a lot of civilians, and there's like I don't know if it's a honeymoon. Everything just is popping right now. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yesterday. I spent 8 hours streaming, and I didn't even notice.
Oh
Wow.
And
wow.
that hasn't happened in a long time. I was streaming, and usually I think about closing out, but yesterday, not a single moment up until the last moment where someone reminded me, "Hey, isn't it late for you?" That's when I realized that, yeah, it's fun. And I don't want to go too hard, so I'm probably gonna take like a few breaks so I don't burn myself out. But I feel like you'd have fun. Everybody who plays on main,
Yeah.
they just gave classic a shot one day with a new character, new approach. They'd have a lot of. There are a lot of people that are going to classic, giving it a try, and then going back to main. And I'll be honest, people that are playing it for like 2 hours and they don't feel it and go back to main, those are people that are bringing over the same characters.
Right.
When you're bringing
Yeah.
over the same character from 3.0 to 2.0,
2.0.
you know what's happening? You're playing the same character but in a slightly shittier city.
Hmm.
That's what you're
Yeah.
doing, where you
Well,
don't have any of these previous connections. So you're losing. So from your perspective, at least your character's perspective, you're losing a lot for no reason.
Yeah.
But if you played a new character, you're interacting with new people. That's gonna be the draw. It's not like you're losing. It's like you're gaining a new I don't know, new story or new
Yeah.
approach or like refreshing. And if people went into it that mindset, they'd probably stick around longer. But
right.
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'd
certainly go for it.
no, you go. You go.
I was gonna say I certainly would, and I have been thinking about. Well, I was thinking Wolfbiter. I know he's an old character, but I barely played him, so in all honesty, and I was actually thinking about it, but just like I said, I feel like I have a responsibility to put in a certain amount of time as a judge on Titus. So I think right now with my limited time, I'd probably spend it on 3.0. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe this conversation, maybe I'll do a 2.0. Maybe I don't know.
I had a FOIA lapse. I had a FOIA like I missed it by 2 days. By the way, so I had to submit a FOIA by 48 hours.
Yeah.
And it's been 4 days since then, and I just got a DM this morning. I was like, "Oh shit, what happens now? Do I get sued into oblivion? I don't know." But I sent it. I just
I
sent it.
probably just got some strike points or some shit.
I completely forgot about that. And they can't give me strike points if I'm not on the server. Like, come on. The only time I
Yeah.
go on 3.0 now, like you'll see me for a little bit, is if I'm arrested on 2.0.
Right.
So just switch out.
Or
And Jesus, man, I'm so
like
happy I got two
today
characters.
when you go in and vote for Osvaldo too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, just pray
Yeah.
that I get arrested for some dumb shit, and then
You gonna
maybe
do me
I'll pay you
dirty
a
like
visit.
that, bro?
What's one vote gonna do? What's
Bro, every vote counts. I can't believe I'm becoming a politician. I feel
Honestly, though,
disgusted.
with
campaigning
how
OOC?
Campaigning
Jesus.
O's.
well, really though, like I mean, what was it like 400 to 300 or something? It was last time
Not
or
even.
whatever. Was it?
It was like 390 something. Or I was off by like 90 something votes.
Was it? Okay, yeah. But I mean, that's when you think about like how many people are playing in the server, and you got to think that like what's the percentage of people that actually did vote? Like it's got to be pretty small, right?
Yeah, I'm really I wish there was a way to like actually see how it went down. Cause it's really cool. Like there was someone put up a chart the day of after I lost, and I was looking at it, and it was like Osvaldo was winning the whole week, and then the last 24 hours, which is when me and Blade, who were pretty much the only people like campaigning for Osvaldo that time,
Yeah,
me and Blade we were done. We
yeah.
were exhausted. We were like, bro, we can't do this anymore. Blade was hitting like 20 something hours every day
Wow.
doing the yeah, and
Goddamn.
I couldn't do it because I had work.
Yeah.
So I would do what I could, and then didn't tell Blade to do anything. He would just do it, and I'm like, bro,
Wow,
you're
Blade a
bro,
real
you're
one.
yeah, Blade's a
Yeah.
real one. And then
He's that guy.
yeah, and then you see when we stopped campaigning, when me and him stopped campaigning, the last 24 hours, that's when Buddha just shot up, and we were like, holy fuck, we fucked up. But it is what it is.
So wait, there were people who were not voting and somehow Buddha got to them.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. The last 24 hours he popped off. He did like he paid for like a monster truck rally for free for people to go and like do stuff. He was like giving away
That's
free food at Roosters. He went like all in on that last day. He went all
Yeah.
in, and it just happened to be the day that me and Blade were just like tapping out. We were like, we can't do no more.
that's
It
what
was
happens when
intense.
you go up against $1 million corporation,
Mm.
and it's only $1 million corporation because the city works in millions, not billions. Damn.
You hate to see it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, moving on. Have you guys ever considered playing a criminal? Like when I say criminal, I mean like I'll rob you for everything you have and shooting you isn't out the book. Would you guys consider playing a character like that?
Absolutely.
I
Have
Uh,
you
think I
tried
would.
to? Have you given
no,
it a shot?
I mean, I hate to keep using this excuse, and I really, it's so easy to play Titus because I just hop in either the lawyer or the judge queue, right? And
Mhm.
so I get to play when I want to play, right? And it I I don't really feel like sitting and waiting in a queue and all that sort of stuff. Like I don't really ever. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the whole prio thing, but I don't really feel like sitting in the queue. It's easy to play Titus because I can just jump in and go, and so more often than not, that's why I play him. But yeah, absolutely. I actually think that I've mentioned Wolfbiter a couple times. That's a character who I know if I actually put any time in and actually makes any relationships in the city whatsoever, he's very easily manipulated into exactly that sort of behavior. I would, you know, I don't really want to make like generic gangbanger number 1523. Like that's not really something I would like to make. But yeah, like a criminal, it's got a bit of a character, some quirks to him. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
I don't know if I would want to. I don't I've always wanted to do anything that's different than what people do, if that makes sense. Like to like an extreme. So like Osvaldo, he doesn't do anything that like only like for a whole while only hammers, only hatchets, like
Mm.
stuff like that. No guns. And I was very adamant on that. I was like, bro, fuck that. Everybody uses guns. Everybody uses like shit like that. Everybody does getaways. Fuck that. Let's take L's. Let's not do guns. And I feel like doing a criminal that like tries to rob people and stuff, I'd have to figure out a way to do it where it's like nobody does it that way. And I feel like that'd be way too hard to figure out, if that makes sense.
I get
Yeah.
you. Does it have to be nobody does it that way, or just like I'm okay with doing it my certain way? Because like I think of like for
Yeah.
example, like I've seen like Forehead, for example, at times call up Snow and be like, "Hey Snow, I have guns in my apartment. You want to come hang out in my apartment with me?" Like doing the whole like self snitch, get an L sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, eh, I don't know if you could be like more sort of like unique than that in terms of just like I mean that's pretty much the criminal being like here please give me my L please, right? Um But at the same time, like, you know, I think there's ways to be satisfied. Like, because what you're saying, like, hey, no, only, you know, hammers or hatchets, or if you want to like put those restrictions on your character. I mean, I think that's interesting. I think that's what makes characters interesting, right? I like Easy comes to mind, and I haven't seen him for a minute, but I haven't been around a whole lot either. There's like Schnitzel and those guys who were hanging around with him, right?
Street
He
Side
was
was so good.
Yeah, like he was one of those characters who like he didn't do like violent crimes in any way, but he did a lot of petty shit and he made a lot of great RP from it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um so
Street Side was amazing.
yeah,
Wait, Snitchel, Snitch. How do you say his name?
Schnitzel?
Schnitzel. Schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
Yeah.
Him and there was a bunch of people that all showed up out of nowhere, out of the blue. Like one day they were
Mhm.
like you never saw them, and then one day out of nowhere they're there,
Yeah.
and then
Dude,
they're almost every day.
Street
And
Side
did they
had
come
like
from somewhere together? Like
I
what?
don't know. I don't know how they all know each other. I just know that we got brought in, bro. Street Side had like at one point like 85 people in their gang.
Holy shit.
What?
Wow.
Dude, they
Okay.
had a shit. They got to the point where they had to start kicking people out because people were just saying they were street side and not really like part of the group. They were like, yeah, we're street side, and then they'd go around beat the shit out of people and be like street side, and then
Right.
like Harold and Schnitzel were like, nah, that ain't You're not doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
How,
they had like 85 people at some point. It was
what?
insane. Yeah, they had like a list and everything. Some dude, it was a guy named Sam that was in their group that had the list, and he'd be like, "Yeah, no, you're not in no more. You're not in no more. Osvaldo, you're good. Leo, you're good. But this person's out. This person's dude. It was insane.
Yeah.
I when I first met them, I was like, "Holy fuck, y'all are. I could not. This is insane."
And they weren't like your simple rudimentary gang that, wanted the gang app, wanted to get a compound, wanted all the things all the other nicer, quote unquote nicer gangs had. They were like an RP crew, right?
Yeah. They did kind of like the same thing that we did, where we took over a clothing store. They took over literally a parking lot, and they were trying to get like the whole like there's like a billboard behind that parking lot, and they were trying to get that billboard to say street side and everything. They just wanted to RP
Yeah.
and be their own thing, which was great. They had like tents at the parking lot, and that's where they slept. Dude, it was insane. They were like homeless. They were a homeless gang, but like legit. It was crazy.
I think I
That's
saw
awesome.
it's at the big tree, Great Ocean with like the coast where Seaside's at,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah,
gas.
yeah,
Oh, is
yeah.
that
Like
where? Oh,
there's this
okay.
little lawn area, but right next to the gas station, and I always used to see them there. Is that their spot? Was that their spot?
Yeah, that was their spot.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
Why'd they
insane.
pick that spot? Such a weird spot. I drive past that, I just see them chilling.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
bro, they were so much fun to hang around with.
yeah. What are your Hogshund, what are your plans if Osvaldo does become mayor? Oh my God, my freaking
Like if he does become mayor,
yeah, if
bro,
he does become mayor.
Cuba too, baby.
So
I
you're actually
want to,
gonna commit to no guns and shit?
dude. I want to do that so bad because I feel like that'd be such a cool story to tell, and like show like, hey, Cuba's not fucking cool. This is what's happening in Cuba type of beat. Like teach people that also. But I feel
Uh-huh.
like no higher up in the server will allow me to do any of that. I feel like, dude, like actual communism in Los Santos would be fucking insane.
I feel like there'd be like news articles about that shit if it does happen.
Yeah, but you know how cool it would be?
It would. And you know what I've noticed?
Mm.
It's always the most destructive things that generate the most role play. Because think about the Samoans, right? They
Hmm.
blow shit up, and then people start talking about it. They could have not blown that shit up and decided to say, you know what? I don't want to do that. That I don't want to get rid of that. But sometimes you need to fuck shit up for that to be a buzz. And I feel like you being a mayor and just I don't know ruining the status quo. It'd be better than a mayor that does nothing,
Yeah,
or
I feel
even
like
a
it'd be
mayor that does
insane.
good. A mayor that does good is on a role play server, in my opinion, is just as effective as a mayor that does nothing. Because there
Can
has to be downs. And
can
right now, every single mayor that we have had have all tried really hard to do good for the majority. They've all tried to be good mayors. I mean, maybe
Have they?
Denzel. I don't. Abdul May. I don't know. I don't know too much. I don't know too much about the mayors, but
Abdul deadass just embezzled money
Yeah,
until he got
yeah.
caught. That's all he fucking
yeah,
did.
How much did he take?
I don't know. I just know he embezzled. Like he got into
yeah.
mayorship. I know Osvaldo walked up to him and asked him like, "Hey, how is it being a mayor like recently?" And he's like, "They're just gonna bother you about storefronts." And I was like, "Oh." He's like, You're gonna hate it. It's just storefronts after storefronts after storefronts. That's why I just took the money and left." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I think you'd have to get Abdul to, but I think the first term, I think he was a little bit more of like kind of like what you were talking about, 52, like the good mayor trying to be helpful and all that sort of stuff. And then I think when by the time his second term came around, yeah, he was just straight up embezzling money with Cerberus. There was like a, did, I still remember there was like a mayoral suite at the casino that he was paying for that had like, it was like it was one of those like fictional receipts, right? It was like $10,000 for the mini bar and $1 million for Wi-Fi service. And I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it wasn't too far off, right?
Oh my god. That sounds
And
so good though.
yeah, it was great RP, right? There was a whole embezzle. There was a court case about it. It was a big deal. Like honestly, I feel. And the other thing is the other great part about Abdul's mayorship, and I haven't really paid much attention to some of the more recent ones, and they might be doing it as well. But Abdul, pretty much 24/7, there was someone from the mayor's office around. They had really good coverage, and people could come and approach them at any time. uh as much as like he kind of had a bit of a lark as the actual mayor in the mayorship position, he actually it was run quite well by his deputy mayors as well, right? So honestly, Titus in character will always think of Abdul as probably the best mayor we've had, even if it did end up in an embezzlement case.
What when he first became mayor, when I was playing Carmine and he wasn't a cop, I
Yeah,
wanted to be his deputy mayor.
yeah.
I
Hmm.
tried to be his deputy mayor, but I wasn't around when he was around. So
Damn.
thinking back, that shit could have been so
That would have
fucking
been so
fun.
good for Carmine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What could have been, man? What could have been?
Hmm.
Now I'm a cop and I don't know what to do on 3.0 other than play a cop.
Los,
God
Cu-
forbid I go
Los
off
Cuba,
duty.
baby. We're gonna change the city to Los Cuba.
Los Cuba.
Bro, that
Oh,
that shit would be so funny, bro. Imagine you taking someone's disrespecting Osvaldo and a cop hears it, and then you're legally allowed to grab him and send him to prison.
you
Bro,
know, where there's like a bunch of American flags, like this one outside MRPD and
oh
shit.
yeah, no, I want to change all that. When I become mayor, I want to change all that to Cuban flags.
Oh, that'd be
Ah,
great.
make Spanish a mandatory fucking language to do commerce.
I
That'd be
told
crazy.
I told Nick Simone when one of the times I had a meeting with him, I was like, "Oh yeah, there's gonna be mandatory Spanish classes, and it's gonna be taught by me and Leo. So like the whole city's gonna have to make an appointment to do Spanish classes, and by the end of the first month, everybody has to know Spanish. If not, they go to prison." And Nick's like, and it was like, "Yeah, I think it's a great idea."
Bolingbrook's gonna go crazy, and then force half of PD to work as DLC to, you know, take care of the huge prison population.
Dude, it would be so funny.
It would be fun, but I guarantee there's gonna be people who are OOC butthurt because no, my character, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
It's boring. No, skip.
That's why I feel like a lot of the stuff I would want to do with Osvaldo won't work as mayor.
You know, a lot
I'd
of
be
people
able to do
shit.
little shit. That's about
You know,
it.
a lot of people shit on Armor 3,
Hmm.
but Armor 3, that type of roleplay that you're talking about, that type of shit was yearned for.
Yeah.
Huge sweeping changes. People are not. I mean, people didn't play characters in Armor 3. They did voices, and it was them. But that type of wacky shit in Armor 3 was like was liked. I wasn't around for that shit, but I've watched
Me
videos and
neither.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Osvaldo Mayor in Armor 3 probably would have gone crazy.
Would have popped off.
Yeah, because there'd be like Wait, there'd be like a dispute between one guy who's like a super terrorist and the current sitting mayor or the chief of police, and next thing you know, you'll see fucking planes flying into skyscrapers and shit.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
They're just blowing up shopping malls and shit.
So Arma 3 was different, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
Silver
seen a
Lake.
single clip from Arma 3.
You know, Medi used to play on like a lot of the people who play on like a lot of the big names who play on Nopixel now.
Mhm.
They had their start on Armor 3.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Like I know Vader did too and stuff. I didn't know Medi did though.
Yeah,
Arma
Medi
3 was
did.
also from Arma 3 was also like a no pixel thing, right?
Yeah, it was
I
the
th-
first Nopixel, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what it's like 1.0 or if that was still in GTA. I'm not
No,
really sure.
that's not 1.0
Yeah,
was
okay.
1.0 in
But still
Nopixel, and
GTA. Yeah.
yeah, and 1.0 wasn't really known. Nopixel didn't pop off until 2.0.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's when the boom happened. Yeah.
Yeah, 1.0 Nopixel was just another server. Then 2.0 came because who was it? Who was it that first hopped on? It was a Lyric. I don't know
Could have been. I know
jump
Moon
started.
Moon was a big one. So
Oh, it
was
might have been Summit. It was probably
Summit. I
Summit.
was gonna say Summit as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and now Nopixel's like a. Is Nopixel a brand? I don't know. Is it?
I mean, they open all the multinational language ones. I think it's a brand at this point. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I wonder how those servers are doing. If
I
those
have
servers
no
like popping
idea.
off.
I wanna visit the Spain one day. I think that'd be cool.
I know that on the Spain server, there's like people who have custom pets, and
Mhm.
their custom pets look. Some of them look fucking cool as shit, man.
Yeah.
There's this guy that has, I think, half a metal face or some shit,
Oh,
and
geez.
white bleached hair, and he's the leader of a gang.
What the
He's always
fuck?
got these two swords on his back.
Damn.
I don't know if
That's
this is a
dope.
Spanish server or I think it is. It's probably because Spanish server is the one that's been around the longest, right?
That's the Spain one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that like a custom pet like someone made for him, or is that just like all within the like customization that you can do with like the barber shop or whatever?
Yeah, it's someone made custom shit back in.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Um, have you guys ever considered playing on Red Dead Redemption, like roleplay? Have you ever tried that out? RDR?
I've thought
No.
about it. So here's my little. I've always felt that one of the reasons that GTA is a great game for it is because like with the modern setting, you can kind of go and RP whatever you want, right? If you want to be a cowboy, you can be a cowboy. If you want to be a Cuban, you can be a Cuban. If you want to be whatever fits into appearing in a modern day setting, you can RP. And so there's just like so much more variety. Where I feel that like, don't get me wrong, while the game is beautiful, the setting's beautiful. My hesitation with Red Dead is that, well, doesn't everyone basically have to RP cowboy, and wouldn't that kind of get stale eventually? But I've never
No,
done it, so
no. Think of name a character right now on NoPixel, and I can tell you what their 1900, 1901 ancestor would be like. Like everybody can be ported over because you can play Cubans. There's you can play as a Mexican bandit. You can play as a cowboy. You can play as a French aristocrat. You can play as whatever you want. You just
mm,
gotta put
fit it
that,
into the
yeah,
frame a
fit
little
that,
bit more.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically like tweak it so it can make sense in that setting. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure Buddha played Buddha Lang, but in that setting, and called him Mr. Wu. Same with Anthony Z, who plays Tony.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He brought it. You can do it. It's doable. And believe it or not, I feel like the only big difference, like takeaway I can say compared to from Red Dead to GTA is driving fast and phones or phone communication, pictures, that type of shit.
Mhm.
That type of shit is not there, and communicating long distance is not as easy as it would be in GTA. So roleplay, because of that one facet, is slowed down considerably. Oh, and plus, there is no, human rights bill, too. So, and
Easy.
Right.
yeah, if a fucking if a deputy
You
says
shoot
you're
him.
guilty, yeah, guilty. Yeah, and
Yeah,
plus,
yeah, yeah.
if you get killed in the middle of nowhere, well, guess what? No forensics. So,
Yeah.
yep. And no EMS coming quickly to save you too. So there's that as
How do
well.
they even know?
So there's stuff called Wild RP. They recently implemented something like a distress signal, where someone, where like a local passes you and they see you and they're like, "Ooh, someone's down here," and then they go to the city and the rangers hear about it. Then they come over and usually this entire thing, I've never I've never been saved by a ranger. I usually get saved by passerbys because I don't go down outside of the city. If I ever do go down, it'll be in the city, and I don't fuck around when I'm outside of a city. Because if you go
Mhm.
down
Right.
outside of the city, out in the forest somewhere, my guy,
You're
I was
done.
gonna
good
say
luck.
that sounds like that's like as much as that's a good system, it sounds like that'll take, half an hour to an hour just to be brought back up to be able to
Yeah,
play again, right?
and on Wild RP, you lose all your items if you go down and then revive yourself at a. And I feel like that one mechanic there is what probably turns a lot of the no pixel esque streamers away from it. Because it's streaming.
Uh,
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but streaming a character that you're experimenting with, and they go down out in the middle of nowhere, and you have to wait for someone to find you, or you lose all these items that you've got.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And some of these items could be like cosmetic momentums, right? Mementos, and you lose it if you don't get picked up. Uh, I can see it turning away a lot of people.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like that's half of Titus's inventory is just like cosmetic things or RP enablers or whatever, right? So like, he
Yeah.
doesn't want to lose that shit.
I've
I'll
been
always wait for the EMS.
I've been ocean dumped like 3 times, so I've lost all my shit multiple times now.
Oh
You've been
no.
ocean dumped?
Like 3 times.
Was it like
I've lost my Cuban Federale badge. That's why I don't bring it up anymore. It's gone.
All right.
I don't have it anymore.
how did it who can you tell like without if you don't if without saying names, can you tell us like how that
Uh,
shit happened?
with the
Was
ocean
it
dumping. One of them was on purpose. He wanted to get a lobotomy on to forget about Charlotte Fairfield because he had like an obsession with her for a bit. Uh,
and then you
and
cheat on Wrangler with a nice one, dude.
no, I didn't cheat on Wrangler. This is
I can't believe she got fired for that.
dude. That shit
You
is so
fucking,
funny to me.
you fucking fired.
Osvaldo gaslit her and to get him fired. It's so fucking funny. But no, that so he wanted to get a lobotomy and things went south and the lobotomy was someone just shooting him in the head at the pier and he fell into the ocean. And then another one was he got interrogated by somebody and he had to forget that he was interrogated, so they did the same thing. They threw him into the ocean.
You know what I say
An
at that point?
Okay.
If you want to memory wipe someone, this ocean dumping is an OOC means of memory wiping someone, right? It's not conducive to role play, and people do it because it's a server rule. If it wasn't a server rule that hey, if you go in the ocean, you don't have to forget, nobody would do it. They do
Mhm.
it because it's a server rule, and it's a server enforced rule, and there's no goodwill between the person being ocean dumped and the person ocean dumping. It could be done for toxic reasons like OC toxicity, just throw you in the ocean, to grief you.
Mhm.
Like there's a meme around that shit where some people
Is
say,
that people
"I'm gonna
actually
teach."
do that?
Yeah, the like so people have this mindset, and this is why you know if someone's role playing or not. They'll ocean dump you to teach you a lesson, knowing that your character will forget, but you will remember. So they'll ocean dump you because you fucked with them. And
Mhm.
because of that, they're gonna inconvenience you by ocean dumping you, and now your character forgets about that. So now there's no means of recourse or retaliation. If I ever want to like quote unquote memory wipe someone, I'm just gonna slash me, kicks in the head or something, gives
Mhm.
concussion,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
gives like
or
a hard concussion or something.
yeah, or so,
Yeah.
and let them role play around it. Not, and I rarely even do that because I mean, I haven't. I mean, maybe I'm not gonna say I'll never, try and memory wipe someone, but right now there's never been a role play encounter where I haven't wanted the person to remember what happened.
Well, I was gonna say,
Mhm.
more often than not, you would want them to, right? Because that just
Yeah.
furthers the RP. It creates more situations in the long run, right?
Yeah.
So be honestly on tight. So anytime, there's very rarely is Titus gonna go down and not go into the ICU. Probably, I like to RP like consequences to my character, and every time I wake up from the ICU, I roll for his memory. Like I've had times where I don't remember a thing. It hasn't been because I got ocean dumped. It's just like I mean, and that's a me thing. That's how I want to RP, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like I totally agree with what with you as well, Chains. Like why wouldn't like I get that there's probably some very specific moments where you don't want someone to remember things, and I'm not going to say I would never go down that in RP, but I agree with you. Like I think most of the time you want someone to remember because you want that RP to last. You want them to remember. You want them to come back, whether to seek revenge or be what's the word, remorseful or regretting what they did. I'm missing the word I want to use there right now. But like you want that for like that's why we're creating the stories as we are, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
Um,
yeah. I, I
I
I I don't mind ocean dumps too much. At least for me, maybe because I don't really care about stuff that's in my pockets. I do think it does like the RP gets like stalled there. Uh, I don't know, but I think in like certain situations where like your character doesn't need to know or doesn't need to continue the story, like it's not like you're just like an info hog or something. I feel like that's okay if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know,
but like
If you're just there for the if you're just there to give the guy the info and then they're like, okay, I can't. You don't need to know anything else. Bye. I
sure.
feel like that's okay.
But there's also been times where like I remember one time specifically on Titus,
Hmm.
I was kidnapped by 4T, right?
Okay.
And she was after some information. I can't remember exactly what it was, just on how, the legal system was working and warrants and all that shit, right? So she kidnaps Titus, she takes him somewhere, holds him at knife point. Titus is like, yeah, here's all the information you need, tries to talk her down from killing him and whatever. And in the end, she just drove away and left Titus just fine. I ended up calling somebody to come pick me up or whatever. And I thought that was profoundly. And again, I don't know. Every RP is different, right? But I
Yeah.
thought that was way better RP than just I ended up floating in the water, not remembering things. Now I have a reason to fear 4T in the end, right? Like I don't know. It's again maybe
those
every
ocean
situation is
dumpings to
different,
me
right?
are like they're not ocean dumping you because it's a role. They're ocean dumping you because it's role play. And Hogshund, when you got shot in the head, I feel like that was role play. I've
That
dealt
was
with
funny.
I've dealt
That
with
shit was funny.
yeah, I've dealt with ocean dumpings that were not role play, and it's awkward as shit. Where
Mm.
they shoot you, they pick you up, they drive you for like 4 to 6 minutes out into some recluse place, and then they take you, and then they swim out into the ocean, and they swim like a good 2 minutes, so you're in the middle of the ocean to make sure there's no
Yeah.
way of recovering. And the whole ordeal takes like 10 minutes. And it's the most awkward silence, fucking weird shit ever.
Hmm.
And every time Carmine worked at the casino, and I'd run into a lot of reclusive, introverted people who, when confronted with if I antagonized them, they wouldn't know how to react other than, shoot and ocean dump. But I dealt with a lot of that, and is left it's left a stale taste in my mouth when it comes to ocean dumping, just
Yeah.
because of how I've seen it used and abused, and yeah, and I don't ever want to be in a role play situation where I'm making someone feel bad, you
Hmm.
know, and that's one reason why I play my cop the way I play him. Like I try not to enforce consequences on people that are not up for the consequences. So I'll meet
Mhm.
people halfway,
Yeah.
and if there are consequences, I make sure that they don't. Like if I have someone in the cells, I'll try and talk to them, even if it's to antagonize them. I'll talk to them so they're not alone in that cell. So something going on, so something stimulating, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Because
no one just
sometimes
wants to
you're
sit
stuck in
there.
that cell for like fucking 2, 3 hours. and nobody's talking to you, and you're like, "Fuck, please, like,
I'm just a
breathe
prop
at
at this
me."
point. Yeah.
I can say with confidence, I have never done that to anybody.
Mm.
A
I feel like
year of
I
being a
feel like
cop.
I feel like it's a lot better now too. I don't think
Mhm.
that happens as much anymore. But when I was first in the
Mm.
city, like the beginning of 3.0, I forgot what I did, but I remember I was going to prison, and there was a time. This was before like cuff time or whatever too, and I was stuck in that thing for like 3 hours, and nobody was talking to me. And I
Uh,
don't remember what the situation was. I don't know. I don't remember what I did or whatever. But I was stuck in there for a long time, and I was like, "Holy fuck, I'm bored." Like, holy shit. But
Yeah.
I think the
They've
cops have
gotten
done.
better with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the cops have done way better than.
Can I be honest? I think it's probably because of rapport. People know who your character is, and people know you, so they don't want to do that to you because they know you, and they know if they do that to you, you might it might.
Get,
But if they don't know you, like if you're a first time guy on the server and a cop who like I'm not I don't want to be I don't want to say like they're assholes on the server, but there are people that don't give a shit about you if you are not recognizable.
hmm
So I remember when I played my characters, I'm not gonna say any names, but the people who treated me differently when I like they disregarded any type of role play I approached them with. Like
hmm
they'll skip it every opportunity they got. They'd skip it, and they're not giving me the time of day. But now that I play a character that's kind of known, I don't get that as much. I don't think I get that at all anymore. But I remember
No,
what it
it's
was like.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it happens, right? If you're not a like, I mean, I've felt like that as well in times too, right? Like if people don't know who you are, they're less likely to give you the chance on the RP, right? And honestly, that's one of my like, going back to like new characters, kind of recircling back to there. That's another reason that I'm always kind of like a little hesitant because it's like fuck, I have to build this character up again. I have to get people to know who this character is again, like. I feel like that's one
Yeah.
of my biggest barriers to starting a new character, especially if I'm not just going to use my be of one voice Andy and have people and hope that people are going to be like, oh, that's Titus. Like even then, like it's not like I'm a main character in the server. Not many. Like I guess I'm a judge, so people are going to recognize me. Some of them, but not everyone at all, right? So like. I don't know. That's one of my hesitations. There is just it feels like you're kind of cucking yourself from the RP by doing that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just say I feel like Hogshund and Valden, you two guys, I feel like maybe you guys like this as well. But if I experience something that I fucking hated and later on in the future, like I'm in a position where I have the ability to not do that thing to the person that I hated,
Hmm.
I feel like I've built my character on that. Because right now in Carmine, 9 times out of 10, if I see someone, I will talk to them.
Same.
I'll say hi, I'll say
Oh
fuck you,
yeah.
I'll say something, right?
Yep.
I'll role play with them to a degree, and I try to role play with as many people as possible, and I try to put in the same amount of effort with
Hmm.
many people as possible too. And that's one thing I noticed when I was playing my character that I'd have people just walk past me, not even say anything,
Don't give a
and
shit about you.
Yeah.
exactly. And now thanks to me going through that shitty shit, I can somehow alleviate that and like do my part of making an
Sure.
environment I would enjoy myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my oh, go for it. You go first this time.
Okay.
You let me go first last time.
I usually always try to like anybody that wants to talk to me walks up and talks to me. As long as you're not an ass to Osvaldo for like no reason, bro. Osvaldo will talk to you. He'll give you shit to do if you want shit to do. Like Santa Claus. He had nothing to do and he was like, "Oh, I want to help." And I was like, "Okay, here, I'll buy you some food. Go give the food out to people. Just go around and give food to people. Let me know when you're done. I'll buy you some more food. We'll do shit like that." Like, well, I always try to make it like I don't want to leave you bored. Like if you're struggling to find someone to talk to, if you're struggling like break in, I want to be the guy that's like, all right, let's fucking do it. Let's get you something to do. Like you won't hang out with me probably, but I'll make sure you'll end up finding someone to hang out with eventually. Because I feel like that's how it should be. We should be helping.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, so oftentimes in DOJ, like you see a lot of people the moment they're in the server, right? Whether it be for like, a license or what have you, right? And so I feel that like I see a lot of people and I try to talk to them and all that sort of stuff. I completely agree with you guys there, giving them things to do, suggestions, like all that stuff, 100%. One of my favorite things is when I interact with a character, they go away, and then later on I find out that that was actually like somebody that I already knew, but I had no idea that it was them. Like the easiest one that comes to mind, I had Abdul playing a character, and he was like one of those typical like, hey, I need my. It was like, I've been waiting on the train for 4 hours and I just got in and I have a bank robbery scheduled. I need a firearms license so I can kidnap someone. So, and it was like, and at first I was
That's
just like,
funny.
who the fuck is this, right? Playing this character, so you're not sure, like, is it a meme or is it someone actually doing it or is this actually like a character? Like, I was trying to, like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm handling it the same way, one way or the other, regardless, right? And then after the character's gone, and it was, 10 minutes later, someone pops in and they're like, "Hey, by the way, that was Abdul. It was a great time." I was like, "Oh fucking a!" I'm so. But those are like sometimes my favorite moments in the servers when like you have these interactions and like whether either for the positive or negative, and you just don't realize it was somebody else that you knew, and they're kind of playing this new character. I don't know, little. I get a little giddy sometimes with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abdul. Abdul plays. Abdul plays a lot of characters. Like on Classic, he was playing a tow truck driver, and I mean, I'll be honest. I always know when it's Abdul. It's you can hear the accent,
Yeah, yeah.
and the every time when he's talking, there's like an undertone of him always yelling.
What's up, boys?
Hey, how
hey.
you doing,
Hello.
Hydra?
How's it going? Figured I'd do a special guest star entry, dynamic entry.
Hey.
What is up? We've been
You're
going
right
for
about
an...
you're right about Abdul, man. You can always tell, even when he tries to, even if he uses like a voice changer, you can always tell it's him.
I'll admit that one time with that one, I didn't realize it was him. I probably, if I listened to it, if I watched the clips, I'd probably like, okay, yeah, how did I miss that? But I honestly had no idea it was him at the time. But yeah,
It's his tonality and the way he says certain words too. That gives it
Yeah.
away. I
Yeah.
feel like I have that fucking problem too, man.
Yeah,
Everybody knows.
You got the Carmine in you, bro.
Gee, god damn it, man. I miss the days where I was ambiguous and
Chingado.
everyone was like, who is that? Who's playing that character? I miss those days. Now everybody fucking knows, and it's so annoying.
I
What
like
was
it
that
when
character
people
you
go into my
played?
chat and they're like, "Wait, your accent's not the same," and I'm like, "Huh?
Huh?
It's a
He's a
character." They're like,
character,
"What?
man. Chill.
What? You do that? I thought that what?
what?
That's crazy.
I thought that was your voice. Are you even Cuban?" And I'm like, "Brother, come on."
I can't believe you're doing this on an MMO server, you nerd. What the fuck's wrong with you?
how dare you pretend to be somebody else?
What was the
Yeah,
52? What
right?
was the character that you played in Wild West RP that used the really deep voice? He was like a scary dude.
Oh, Kublai Khan.
Kublai Khan. That dude was menacing.
Yeah, a Mongol warrior. I had a voice changer on. I think I have a clip. I might be able to find it.
Yeah,
All right,
try and
give
find it.
me.
I'll distract the
give me
boys
a
for a
sec.
minute.
Yeah.
All right,
Mhm,
gentlemen.
mhm.
All right, so I missed a lot. You want to just give me a cliff notes of what we talked about?
Yeah, we talked about how great Osvaldo is and how shitty Carmine is and how great Titus is.
True.
True.
That was a big point about the
Does anybody,
conversation.
do you
Yeah.
guys talk about your classic characters yet?
We talked a little bit about classic. Mostly like Carmine was trying to sell us on, hey, you should make some characters. I think he sold me, honestly.
Dude, it's just to try it, just to have some fun as a different character, especially you, Volley. Dude,
yeah.
you deserve a chance to do not court roleplay, brother.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I honestly, I know this is what I was telling him. I kind of am debating just making Wolfbiter, but obviously because I don't play the character, it will be new and fresh, right?
Wolfbiter.
Wolfbiter. Story go. Wolfbiter around camp. Wolf come in to camp. Try to bite Wolfbiter. Wolfbiter bite wolf back.
That's
Ever
great.
since Wolfbiter been known as Wolfbiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just, I don't know. Like I said, maybe someone else instead. I'm not sure. Like I would like I was telling them though. Like my one hesitation is though, like I and this is just because of my time to RP right now. I don't have a whole lot of time, and I feel like I should kind of. It's probably best if I do spend it on Titus because I do have that responsibility as a judge, right?
Man, I really wanted to run as judge this time, but
yeah, there will be other judges elections, right? You can run next time. I honestly, I think you'd be great. Did you see who's running this one? We went through who
all
was
I know
running.
is Crayon's running, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, I was gonna say I honestly really hope she gets it. I think that would be fantastic.
Is she running as Fontaine?
As Fontaine, yeah.
Oh, let's go,
Yeah.
dude.
Fontaine's the
yeah.
one that doesn't have legs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
That's fucking amazing. I fucking love
Yeah.
her.
Oh
That's
my
even so
god,
good.
that's what you know her not having legs. That's
Listen,
what you
listen.
refer to?
I'm
That's
bad with
crazy.
names, bro. I'm bad with names.
Also, I'm gonna
I'm
throw
sending
out
her
there
this.
as well. That's one
Just
of
send
those
it to her.
people
I'm bad
too,
with names.
where we kind of got off on the wrong foot in RP. I don't really want to go too much into it, but long story short, I think it was maybe a little bit of I wasn't really comfortable stepping outside my bounds, and then they were trying to do this like kind of torture RP that I wasn't really down for at the time or whatever. So we didn't really get off on the right foot, but I'm so glad that we overcame that very quickly because fuck, she's awesome.
Yeah. Crayon is
Alright, I
a
gotta-
real one.
I
Yeah.
gotta get off.
You guys
gotta
ready?
go?
Go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right, man.
All right.
All right.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
popping
everything.
in.
Y'all have a
Yeah,
great day,
I'll
alright?
stay with you guys for a little. Thanks
Always a
for
pleasure.
filling. I did really appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries. Y'all have a great day.
All right, buddy.
Take care, Hog. Okay, you guys want to see the clip?
Yeah, that's it.
Black.
Want to see what a fire arrow could do? You have served your purpose. You guys want to see what a fire arrow could do?
Waiting for the clip.
You have served your purpose, Steve.
Wait, can you not see it?
You gotta hit watch stream.
Oh, where's what?
You guys want to see what?
Oh, there it is.
We
All right.
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What a fire arrow? You guys want to see what a fire arrow could do?
You have served your purpose, Steve. Now you will join Tingri
Creepy
in
background.
the
music.
realm of the spirits. Ride the true and relieve yourself of the strains of this life to be free in the hereafter.
I love it.
For Tangri wills it.
And now we eat scrumptious. We're having horse pie. I'm so proud of myself for doing this voice.
No, fire.
Not this part. Not this part. Not this. Stop, please. Oh my god. I didn't think you would sprint that far.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
What a perfect way to end that clip.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh, what do we
Yep.
got? Podion, Space. Office. What is the report? What are we looking at here?
Hmm?
What? Why did you tell me? Motherfucker. That's classified information. That's my scripted roleplay line. Sometimes I script roleplay
Oh,
lines,
okay.
okay?
All right. Well, I'm not editing it out.
Now
so they're all
everybody
gonna
knows
see
my
it.
secret.
You and your scripting.
Yeah. Listen, when you guys like, what the fuck? Where the hell did he pull that one line out of? Now you know. Pulled it off my script.
It's got a bunch of lines ready to go.
Yeah, most of them are dick jokes.
Yeah. Lowbrow humor always works.
All right, boys.
Okay.
Thanks for covering the show. I know we'll have a little bit of a shorter one today, but that's okay. Thanks for helping me get one out. Make sure it's coming out on time. It means a lot. Really appreciate you, boys.
Hey, like I said, anytime.
No worries.
Every time I've come on here, I've had a blast. It's always enjoyable chatting with you guys.
Yeah, we're referring to you as old reliable now because you just always are ready to go.
Hey, that's
it's
fine.
really important. It's really helpful. Thank you.
Hey,
There
like I
was
said,
some people
I
that
appreciate it.
52 asked and kind of explained the situation, and they're like, "Ugh, sucks. Sorry, Hydra, but I'm playing classic."
Yeah. Oh, and like I said, anytime. I have a blast every time I'm here. You guys are great to chat with, and I also really enjoy the whole, chatting with other people outside of RP. Like it's nice to find out what different people think about things. Like I think it's interesting. We were just having the chat earlier about like wipes and stuff, and everyone has different opinions, and
Mhm.
what makes life interesting.
Yep. I feel like we spoke about it, even though it was a shorter podcast than the others. I feel like we went over a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
Like
We did
a
it.
lot.
Yeah.
That's because I can't stick on one topic for too long. I gotta
Maybe that's nice.
say what I
We'll
need
see
to
what-
say.
Yeah, we'll see what people think. So leave your comments. Let us know what you thought of the episode format. Let 52 have it. Just take over. It'll become the 52 Chains podcast.
God no,
Mm.
God no. I'm already spent, man. My neural pathways have been burnt. It's over.
All right.
I don't even know if I'm a stream today.
All right. Check out Voladin at twitch.tv/Voladin17. Check out 52 Chains at
They already know. They've been
Twitch-
told
Twitch-
35 plus times.
twitch.tv/Hydra please.
Okay.
Twitch.tv/Hydra please again. Kick.com/Hydra please. If you want to see me do some weightlifting stuff, I'm doing it over there. Yeah, so I'm doing all my weightlifting stuff on Kick and then like streaming stuff on Twitch. Like trying to keep like my audiences like separate or whatever.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh, like building a brand.
Yeah. Because if you want to see me weightlift and you're like watching me roleplay, like what the fuck is this? Like what is this shit?
Yeah. Makes
So I'm
sense.
just gonna weightlift on Kick and roleplay on Twitch, and all my TikToks and shorts are gonna be all about weightlifting. So mostly we're just roleplaying for fun now. That's good. I was gonna come
Yeah.
back this week, but my best friend died, so probably not.
Yeah.
And hey, if you're listening to this, and you have a best friend, send them a message. Tell them what they mean to you. Tell them how much they've impacted your life. Let them know how much you love them. And if you don't have a best friend, your brother, mother, sister, father, somebody that's important. Fucking streamer that you like a bunch, dude. Just tell them what they mean to you. Because they could die. And it could happen for no reason, suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. You guys want to talk about the rated thing?
The rated thing?
Yeah,
No,
so
no.
what
no,
episode
skip.
was this? Yespixel episode 35? Okay, so the thing about rated